21 hairpin bends and the history of monumental Tour de France battles, Alpe d'Huez is one of cycling's most famous climbs. It's 13.8 kilometers long with an average grade of 8%, and today we're going to give you a taste of what it's like to ride. This is Cycling Weekly's guide to taming this alpine beast.
The straight that leads you up to the first of Alpe d'Huez's famous 21 bends is by far the longest. So ensuring you don't put yourself into the red at this point is vital, with the steepest sections at the bottom of the climb until you reach the settlement of Lagarde at bend 16. Setting a steady pace and maintaining a good rhythm can be tricky on the toughest part of the ascent, but holding back now will mean you have the legs to fight your way to the summit. It will become evident how quickly you rise above the valley floor as you round each bend after just a few kilometres of climbing. Once you have passed Lagarde, the gradient drops down from over 10%, that was the case for the first part of the climb, to a much more manageable 7 to 8%. Using the numbered hairpins, which are named after former Tour de France stage winners on the Alpe, is a useful psychological checkpoint and are a great way to chunk up the climb. These count down from bend 21 all the way down to bend 0. The middle part of Alpe d'Huez brings about the picture-perfect moment you would have seen on countless occasions from previous Tour de France's, as the constant switchbacks zigzag their way up the mountain like a shoelace. As you look upwards towards the summit, this is the first time you can see the ski chalets of the resort of Alpe d'Huez. However, you are far from finished, with a significant bulk of the ascending meters still to conquer. One of the most significant checkpoints on the climb, and perhaps one of the most famous hairpins of all, is corner number 7, or what is also known as Dutch Corner. Located next to the St. Ferriol Church, the corner has become infamous for masses of Dutch fans turning the corner orange during the Tour de France. Bend number 7 also signals the arrival into the village of Huez itself. The road up towards the village allows for a slight respite as it drops momentarily below 7%, giving you the perfect opportunity to recover briefly or increase your speed before the final section of the climb. Once you are above Huez, the landscape changes from enclosed forest roads to open meadows with views back down the climb. As you round bend 1, the site of Alpe d'Huez village is directly ahead, with a congregation of cafes, shops and restaurants welcoming you. Despite showcasing a finish line as such within the village, this isn't where the professional riders of the Tour de France complete their ascent. If you carry on through the tunnel and up towards the additional bend 0, you just have a few more meters of ascent to go, before a short sweeping descent to a roundabout signals the final drag to the Tour de France finish line. It may not seem the most iconic of finishing points for one of cycling's greatest climbs, but you can take your place upon the top step of the podium that sits across from the finish. And let's face it, you've earned it.